Welcome to another episode of Cribwolf Talks. Today we're joined by Morgan Wright, an associate at mcCallumSather, where she's making a profound impact as an architect specializing in complex, mass timber buildings and sustainable design models. Morgan presented at the Intentional Community Consortium Housing Forum hosted by KW Habilitation and Caris Disability Services at KW's office in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario on October 8, 2024. Morgan's expertise lies in blending tradition with innovation, creating structures that are both environmentally responsible and architecturally forward-thinking. She has earned several prestigious accolades for her work, including an Ontario Woodworks Design Award and a Kitchener Urban Design Award for her work on the YW Kitchener-Waterloo Supportive Housing for Women, an aspiring project that showcases her commitment to both community and sustainability. As a project architect, Morgan's approach continues to shape the future of architecture. And today, she's here to share her insights on the potential of mass timber in building a more sustainable and resilient future. Take a listen.
Design to me is imagination.
The role of an architect is being able to take ideas and concepts and translate them into a three-dimensional reality.
In many ways, we're the quarterback of the football team and coordinating the different needs. How can we bring the best intelligence to a project and really make that into something exceptional for our client?
mcCallumSather relocated to the Westinghouse building, and we've often used our own premises as an incubator for ideas.
One of the most exciting parts is the ability to bridge between the heritage and the future.
Understanding what's there and letting it be what it is, and the new interventions are really creating a contrast that creates a counterpoint by bringing in that modern language.
Is it a challenge to approach a project with sustainability in mind? Not for us. I think because we have walked the talk for 20 years, 20 plus years, it's how we think.
The future of mcCallumSather is rich and exciting because of the youth and diversity that we have in our company.
The fact that we have more than one discipline in-house is a big part of that. Understanding that we're better together and no one person has the ultimate authority to make good design happen. The city of Hamilton's an exciting place to be because it's a mid-sized city, so the opportunity for impact is actually quite high.
And that's what a designer is looking for. You see the reflection of your decisions on the streets. That's what Hamilton gives to any designer.
There's never been a greater need for the skills and the intellectual content of what we represent as a firm, which is to the benefit of our clients and to the benefit of the environment. It's just really smart design.
So today my talk will be mainly focusing on how the combination of mass timber and sustainable design elements create opportunities to redefine possibilities for affordable housing, both in terms of building delivery and quality of living for its inhabitants. I imagine for most of you here, the kind of benefit of my talk today will hopefully be getting down to the nuts and bolts of how things get built. So, situated in Waterloo, our community is unanimous for tech startups and innovation. In 2017, our office responded to a government grant, Green Construction Through Wood. We won kind of some grant money, and this research and development led to collaborations with various city stakeholders, clients, industry partners, all people who are really interested in how to kind of get wood into the market. It really gave rise to the use and adoption of locally manufactured engineered wood systems.
You're tall.
Sorry.
There you go.
Thank you. I even wore my tall boots today. So we work closely with our structural engineer and local manufacturer to really optimize architectural elements, to figure out how we could fit them in with the current building code, and then how we could implement them. So for those who don't know, kind of when I refer to mass timber, I'm talking about the kind of larger timber elements. Often it's kind of nominal, 2x4 lumber or something like that, and then it kind of gets glued together in the factory. They can then CNC it, prefabricate it, so it kind of gets delivered to site like building blocks, and it can go up incredibly quickly. So part and parcel to that R&D was finding opportunities to implement these designs. The optimal range of CLT floor panels and adaptable floor panels are adaptable in building structure and creating kind of flexible unit layouts. We developed this kind of suite of how we could use, again, those optimal systems and create, studio, one bedroom barrier free, two bed barrier free, and 3-bedroom barrier free units, so that when we're working with clients, we kind of already have like a set kit of parts that we know is going to be able to be deployed on site pretty rapidly. And then working with specific needs of groups, we can kind of customize and cater to each project. So kind of with rapid, affordable housing at the forefront, we have evolved our approach for this mass timber housing. We have tried to incrementally advance each prototype we've worked on, changing just one variable at a time with every iteration and evolving through each build. Leveraging recent success in mass timber projects through speed and scalability, Passive House has become kind of our most recent kind of lever to pull on. So for those who don't know, Passive House is a very rigorous voluntary standard for energy efficiency, and it dramatically reduces your ecological footprint. It results in ultra-low energy buildings that require very little energy for space heating and cooling. And though Passive House is not required for affordable housing, we have found that CMHC does have very high standards, sustainability standards for their funding right now. So I hope that some of these ideas and these principles can still be applicable to anyone kind of starting these projects. I know it's, I think, between 25 to 55% better than the National Energy Code, depending on what stream of funding you do. So again, I think all these items are still applicable. So just kind of some diagrams here. We've again created this kind of like uniform grid that adapts to all those unit types I presented. The controlled kind of environment of the offsite mass timber manufacturing minimizes that on-site construction and really allows structures to be assembled incredibly quickly. This project here, that was the YW KW project in Kitchener, and it was assembled, like the superstructure was assembled in 20 days, which was really awesome to kind of watch. There is a video online, so feel free to look it up. It was pretty incredible. Just some kind of images here. I'll be talking a little bit about the project and the mass timber elements and kind of the off-site manufacturing process. So akin to the wood grant we received that I mentioned earlier, initial investment in innovative housing solutions has been funded through the CMHC, providing incentives and an appetite to build mass timber housing. So how did we get here? Early iterations were initiated through that kind of rapid housing initiative funding that CMHC talked about earlier. Quite a few of the projects have gotten money through that stream, and as they mentioned, it's kind of a direct path. It's CMHC giving funding to the municipalities, and then them kind of directly giving it to the organizations that fit the specifications that CMHC kind of outlined. So the second round was announced soon after one of our first projects was completed. So you can see here this roundtable discussion took place in that YW KW project, which was very exciting for us. The federal government then announced the additional $2 billion to build, I think, 17,000 homes. So that really kind of kickstarted one of our clients, City Housing Hamilton, runway to pursue innovations in mass timber for the first time. So a little bit about CHH, City Housing Hamilton. Like many of you, their mission is to create accessible, safe, and inclusive housing solutions. As the largest social housing provider in Hamilton, CHH provides homes that are well-maintained and affordable. So part of their ethos is, again, championing that passive house design component. So the two projects shown in these images, I'm not involved in those two projects, but I just want to showcase that they have quite a big portfolio of passive house projects. The one on this side here, that was an energy-focused retrofit. So an old building that they fully did a super deep sustainable retrofit. And on the other side, is a prefab project that is also going to be Passive House certified. So their journey just highlights the critical role of recurring partnerships, and we're thrilled to kind of join partners with them and support their vision. So once built, the 1620 Main Street Project East that I'm going to talk a lot about today is in the running to be the first mass timber passive house multi-residential project in North America. So very exciting. So I'll kind of begin with the whole journey on this one. This initiative really began with kind of a few key industry experts who really wanted to focus on destigmatizing housing and wanted to focus on mass timber and believed that it could be a affordable and an interesting solution for this problem. The RHI funding allowed us and our mass timber partner to kind of build out this dream team to execute the vision. So we brought in Moolul Blamey, who's a well-known contractor in the KW region and just generally Ontario, and they're really essential because they provide that kind of backbone. They have a great reputation, they have the trade know-how, they have experience, and then they were also really eager to try something new and provide good housing for our community. So they're there in the middle. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the housing continuum diagram. I feel like, to me, it effectively illustrates kind of how there's so many different types of housing needed, and it really ranges from emergency shelters to affordable home ownership, and how it really highlights the importance of coming up with comprehensive solutions. So we have been very lucky in our tenure to work with a lot of diverse clients, and it's really been a part of our design ethos to create safe, accessible housing, and no matter where it lands on this spectrum, we want everyone to have good housing. So it was important for us to find a way to use that mass timber, and it could be kind of deployed across the spectrum no matter where the housing fell. We wanted to kind of use it for everything. We're big mass timber fans. So some differences would be needed to cater to each project, but the underlying principles would remain the same, destigmatizing one type of housing. So I'm going to talk about a few of the projects we have done, again, leading up to this 1620 project. So this is 544 Bridgeport, and it's a 5-story, 48 unit affordable housing project. We started in 2019. Actually, it was asked about earlier. We did do, I believe, the co-investment funding for this project with Menno Homes, and who are now go by a different name. And what was interesting about this model is we did do a condo model. So, they had the capacity to kind of build this larger project, and then they have a lot of other groups that they work with who then were able to kind of purchase smaller units in this project. So it was a really interesting model that they developed, and I think it worked quite well. Again, it works for the co-investment, but they didn't actually get, they wanted to a phase 2 and didn't get the rapid housing initiative just because of some of the nuance and the risks that I think CMHC was talking about earlier. In fall 2020, the government announced that first round of rapid initiative funding. So using the team I mentioned with Malul Blamey and Element 5, we were able to execute the construction of a fully mass timber 41-unit transitional housing project for the YWCA here in Kitchener. This design achieved optimal use of city-owned land with a narrow building form. It was quite an awkward lot size. It was a fully electric, kind of net zero ready project. They're kind of ready at any moment when funding is available to kind of start installing solar. We benefited from the use of that mass timber. We used the prefabricated panels to maximize material efficiency and minimize installation time. And the exposed mass timber surfaces inside really create a sense of warmth and well-being. And overall, the project went from contract signing to occupancy in 1 year. So that was crazy. So this led to a completion of a very similar project using the same kind of design methodology. This is York Region Affordable Housing, and it was also funded with that RHI round 1. So this project kind of demonstrates the adaptability of the approach. We were able to scale it down to be just 2 stories and only, I believe, 18 units. Again, led us to the perfect position to respond to that City Housing Hamilton RHI round 3 request for proposal. So because of the passive house mandate, it really had us kind of question our method and consider like the larger implications of adding that like incredible sustainability component into the mix. Oh, there we go. Okay. Contractually, this is the design build structure. Oh, sorry, this is the site of the 1620 Hamilton project. There we go. Okay, so contractually, this led to our design build structure we've used. It's kind of a simple contract that allows us to capitalize on the design assist and the fast track delivery that some of our trades offer. So it's really interesting. I think it's really important to have a good relationship with the contractor, the team that they're looking to hire, and just have a really good understanding of the past work they've done. Again, I think doing this collaborative kind of team approach, especially when you're giving a lot of ownership over to the contractor, it's, again, really important to have that trust and that communication. We have found, that bringing those critical trades into the fold at the beginning, really helpful in creating that like shovel-ready project. They're able to provide input, advice for practical application, and those design ideas that get that really good result. So I think I'm just going to go through some of the challenges and solutions. Some of this might be a little bit technical, so please, I hope you're not bored. So I have here, this is our affordable housing design build payoff diagram that we made. So as you can see, affordable housing is really at the forefront of this diagram. Our approach sought for opportunities to de-risk building performance uncertainties early on. Again, with Passive House, that's so critical. It is a certification process, so you don't want to get halfway through the project and not be hitting those certification milestones. So by really kind of like upfronting some of those items, you're able to kind of de-risk the process. You do, again, need a team that's really committed early on and can, again, provide that feedback. I'll show you guys a quick, this is a snapshot of our project timeline at a high level. So you can see, again, right from the RFP process, there was a lot of feedback early on from the stakeholders. And once that information was all gathered, the project was tendered and a fixed price contract was created. So again, it's really putting the contractor in the hot seat, and they're really relying, again, on those trades, the consultants, to give them really good information to build that fixed price contract. By taking advantage, again, of some of the design assist offered, we're able to start working on things right away, prefabricated elements, ordering large components that have long lead times, so that, again, it just gets everyone moving and everyone kind of committed to the project. So one big thing we attribute a lot of our success to is we do have these kind of bi-weekly team meetings, and I know that doesn't sound that exciting or that innovative, but we do find that it really creates a a great platform for the team. In the beginning, the architecture team hosts this during design, and then responsibilities kind of shift to the contractor during that second half. It sets the pace for the project, and again, keeps everyone on that accelerated timeline and maintains that quality assurance just from the client side and again, the contractor's side. So this is kind of our most recent trailer meeting. We were reviewing building details, and again, we were just receiving all this information from both the trades and the consultants, and it just creates this open platform so people can address concerns promptly and gives everyone a chance to communicate the priorities and then also sharing those short-term goals. So I mentioned, again, we're using the mass timber supplier in a design assist role, which can give the team the ability to create the fabrication and the engineering drawings at the same time. So panel fabrication is able to start as soon as we receive a building permit. So it's beneficial to have that happen while site work is ongoing, because then of course it means less time in construction. So for this project, it also meant less carbon emissions with transit, because the plant that Element 5 owns is in St. Thomas, and so that's only 2 hours from site, a lot less traveled material. Also, kind of nerdy, but also it creates like incredible precision for us as architects. It's really interesting to, again, work directly with the engineers and be able to create the tightest building enclosure we can, which again adds to that sustainability factor, the airtightness of the project, less seating, less cooling. Really, really exciting stuff. So earlier slides, I discussed that kind of contractual type. In reality, that integrated collaboration kind of looks more like a flywheel. There's, this constant kind of loop of design, construction, going back and forth between the two. These feedback loops really connect the contractor to the architects and the consultants, but also between the trades and the engineers. On this project specifically, again, that high performance aspect, kind of every trade was almost linked up with a consultant, and again, there was just this constant back and forth, open dialogue, which is really important. Again, just kind of some information about the collaborative partnerships. There was, again, this great open dialogue between everyone, a lot of back and forth, a lot of vetting and reviewing prior to construction actually starting, a lot of reviewing schedules and agreeing on kind of targets and milestones. And doing that really early on set the tone, set the pace, so that when construction started, people were really, really on the same page. And again, yeah, we kind of made decisions really early. Once that RFP was released, we had already ordered like some of our large mechanical systems. Once the contract was signed, I should say, we ordered, our shower bases. Again, just kind of making sure everyone was really committed to what we had already decided. There was no kind of waffling or changing. It was like, these are the shower units we're using. We're all committed. Delivery and best practices. So this, again, a little bit more on building science that I hope could be applied. You just kind of want to focus on making sure that you have a great building envelope. Mass timber is an excellent substrate for that because it just provides a constant thermal break. You're able to kind of coat your building in insulation and have that kind of continuously insulated project, which is the ideal scenario. Just a little bit about design intent to construction. Again, with those making decisions early, we really had to make these decisions at the RFP process, and then we had to track them through. We basically have the same building components that we initially set out to have. Just some exciting third dimensional modeling, just to show that we've got a great building envelope on this project. But no, I think, just focusing on triple pane windows, that's such an easy one. I know a lot of you guys are doing retrofit upgrades. Some of these small things, like a little bit more expensive, but they really do increase your building efficiency. Just on mass timber is a little tricky. It doesn't like to get wet, so it has been important for us, and again, the whole team, that feedback loop of making sure we're monitoring what's getting built and how we're getting it enclosed in a timely manner. because again, there is thresholds for mass timber. It does have to get properly closed in without being wet. Just again about that fast track nature, just some pictures from site. You can see May 2nd, we essentially were in the ground doing our basement. Then kind of May 16th, a couple weeks later, we were already starting to install our floor slabs. And then you can see in June, we're already going up. Today, the building's fully enclosed, which is really exciting. And we're starting to do all our insulation. The windows are all in. It's very, very exciting and has gone incredibly quickly. And yeah, that's just kind of where we're at now. We're excited for the project to kind of wrap up. Again, we're doing some of the certification components, which we've exceeded our targets, which is amazing. Again, I think it's all about that collaborative nature. And again, just building on kind of the foundations we started with those initial projects. And yeah, each iteration we kind of try to incorporate all the lessons we've learned and pull new levers on the next prototype. We're very excited to be working with KW Hab and Lulablamey, who again is who we executed those projects with. And we're supposed to start in January 2025. So we're at that shovel ready phase and we're ready to get going. Thank you.
That concludes today's fascinating discussion with Morgan Wright, Associate at mcCallumSather. Morgan's work at the intersection of sustainability and innovation in architecture is truly inspiring, especially her expertise in mass timber construction, which is reshaping the future of sustainable building practices. From her award-winning projects to her hands-on approach to designing spaces that positively impact communities. It's clear that Morgan's contribution are not just architectural, but visionary. A big thank you to Morgan for sharing her knowledge and passion with us today, and to all of you for tuning in. We look forward to bringing more thought-provoking conversations to Cribwolf Talks in future episodes. If you have missed any of our shows, find us on YouTube and like and subscribe Cribwolf Talks. Let's help those who need our help.